What's happening? This is the Tap In podcast. We are live, baby, in the Tap In studio for the first time. I love it. Yeah. So I got a special guest in here with me for the first time, Miss Kristen Staple. Do you want King? Okay, Kristen King. What's happening, man?
Whoa, what's up, man?
I'm chilling, man. Kristen King is your rap name?
Chris Kings, yeah.
Chris Kings? Oh, okay, all right. So
it's a brand in general. I'm more than a rapper, but you know what I mean. It's my professional. I present myself professionally.
Okay, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. So I know the reason why I wanted to bring you on is I've been wearing this jacket probably for about a little over a year, right? Shout out to my homegirl Renica too for making me the jacket. But nobody has ever asked me about my jacket. Like, hey, what's the reason behind that? Everybody either just give an opinion, like, oh, I like that. Oh, that's what's up. But you the only one that was like, yo, give me the reason, like, why you have the Kanye crossed out. And I was like, and then I went into, I was like, you know, some of the things that he's been doing, I just ain't fucking with. You know what I mean? And then you gave me your perspective, and you told me you talked to him, right? You actually spoke to Kanye?
I did speak to Kanye briefly after a show in New York that I took my mom to. I want some money. Gambling out in New York, and he had a show in New Jersey, so I took my mom out there. He was actually, bro, it was interesting, like just listen to him speak. He was just kind of speaking on what was going on at the time in regards to him dealing with corporations, like him dealing with like the people at Nike or dealing with the people in this spot, that spot, and how many barriers, you know, they were putting in the way.
Yeah. I mean, here's my thing about Kanye, right? I used to like the old Kanye, the graduation, college dropout Kanye. I loved that dude. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't know what happened or at what point this nigga switched up and became like he was so infatuated with being like included with white America for some reason. Like and I didn't rock with it. I was like Kanye, like you've been always the dude who figured it out on your own. Like why can't you take that same approach to what you're trying to get into, the fashion institute? And maybe it's a part of the game that I don't understand. But I was just like, why is he begging to try to get into that market? Like, you don't need that market. You know what I mean? Like, you don't need that. And you've always been the champion for us as black folks to do your own thing. Like, that's why people start dropping out of college. That's why people start taking their own risk and they start doing their own thing because of Kanye. But I don't know what happened or what switched it up. I don't know if it was because he got with Kim or what it was. But all of a sudden, he just started shucking and jiving too much. You know what I mean?
Okay.
That was just like,
what you're saying.
Yeah, I ain't really feel that, man. I ain't really feel that. So I was just like, what was the conversation that you had with Kanye?
Like I said, man, he was just really spending time talking about barriers, and he was talking about haters. You know, that was really the most of the conversation. The haters, like people gonna hate. And he just basically saying, you know, whatever it is that you're trying to achieve or whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish or that you're trying to do, and I'm saying that you believe that you could do, though you say you're always going to have somebody sitting back talking about why you shouldn't, why you can't, the reasons why not. And he's saying that's all he's really dealing with is haters. And really like, and the thing is, he was saying like, you know, the haters change as you change levels. You know, and so like to speak to what you said, like I like you just said, Kanye, you appreciated that he was always doing his own thing. You know what I mean? Like, so to be a college dropout, like, you know, at the time, everybody's telling their kids what? Go to college, get your job. You know, Kanye saying, nah, I'm going to go another way. And I'm not really worried about how you view it or see it or whatever, right?
Right.
And then, like you said, being a champion for black people, too. I think when somebody's doing something new, right, sometimes it could be perceived the wrong way, even if down the line it's going to be beneficial. And I say that for this reason. Like Michael, he compares himself to Michael Jackson. Michael Jackson was making pop music. Like he's the king of pop.
Right.
Right?
Right.
But they didn't want to let Michael Jackson on MTV, the pop station, because he was black, and because he was black, they were trying to categorize him as R&B. So you could look at it from the direction of, why are you shucking a job and trying to go fit in with the white people, or you could look at it as, no, you're breaking a barrier for the rest of us to be able to get on MTV, or the rest of us to be able to say, hey, I'm truly not doing rap or R&B or whatever. I'm a pop artist, or I'm a country artist or whatever, and I deserve my room in that space if that's what I'm doing, not be relegated to a certain spot. So I think with the fashion, it was really the same thing. When you think of high fashion, that is a European man's game. When I say European, we don't even have like a lot of American, even white, you know what I'm saying, American men playing the high fashion game when you start talking about, like, you know, these big brands.
And my question is, why did he even want to get into that game? If it is a European and his base, right, is young African American people, that's his base. And then everybody else outside of that, they, you know what I mean, they mess with it. But other than that, they don't fool with it. You know what I mean? So that's why I'm like, why is he even fighting to even get into that? Why is he fighting to even get in that space?
I think it was a thing for Kanye, not a thing for us. Like he can't make all of his decisions based on, like, okay, you know, how will my market respond to this, or how black people respond to it? Because at that point, he's a slave to us and what we think and how we're gonna respond. If he has a genuine interest, right, in fashion, and he's approaching it from this point, like, dang, you know, if a young black kid wants to be the next Ralph Lauren, right? There's no black brands he could look up to and be like, oh, here's a black man who did that. You know, and the conversation on Sway was perfect when Sway said, well, why don't you just make T-shirts? A lot of people started there. And he's like, come on. Like, that was the whole thing. That was the annoying thing. Like no, bro, I'm trying to do this big thing. Right. This is what I'm trying to achieve. And we don't have any black people in those space. I don't want to do it because there's no black people, but I'm not scared to do it because we haven't decided that could be a black space. You know, and a lot of black people don't understand that. Like, a lot of black people could never be the first. Their temperament is not set up to where they could be the first in a space or whatever, because they're not okay with risking being called white or risking being, you know, ostracized or whatever. But at the end of the day, if Kanye does it right, then Virgil can follow up and he can go do it, or me or you can follow up and we can go do it. And then once again, like, that's another space that we can come and kick ass in.
Yeah, I mean, I get that, but I'm like, the complaining about it in public. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's what annoyed me, because it was like every interview, I knew he was gonna get a rant from Kanye about how he didn't like this and how he was mad about this and how they not letting him in. And I'm like, he went through the exact same thing with rap.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? But I guess because rap is a black space, he didn't really have to go on no rants about it. And then the political thing with him and Trump, like him hugging on Trump. I'm
okay with it.
Yeah. Him hugging on Trump, you know what I mean? And I'm just like, yo, man, like, why are you doing this? And then to backdoor and then go on this religious campaign, you know what I mean? I'm like, okay, if that's where your heart is, cool. You know what I mean? But one thing black people like, right? We like people who are genuine, right?
Yeah.
No matter what the case is. And truth be told, that's why some people actually fuck with Trump. Because you can't, whatever you say about him, he seems genuine. He seems like he just saying what's on his mind and what's on his heart. He don't give a damn.
Damn, and I hate that too.
I
hate that could be the litmus test where somebody considers like supporting you. Like, oh, you're genuine. Like, somebody can be like, yo, I genuinely want to burn down your house, bro. Like, I'm really serious about that. You be like, hey, Rand, that's how you feel, bro. Wow, at least you was real about it, man. Go get it. Go do it. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's it. Just being genuine.
That's what it is, though.
And
at the end of the day, that's what it is.
I don't even take Trump as genuine.
You don't?
Bro, nah, not at all. It's calculated, and I see through. You gotta think like, I'm in the entertainment. I see the tactics. I think Kanye's genuine. I think Trump's not, because, bro, Trump consulted with was it Jesse Ventura? He was the wrestler that ended up going to politics. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And if you watch a little documentary they got on him, like, he said what he took away from Jesse Ventura is, don't get caught up in trying, like, they're politicians. That's where they come from. Your leg up is that you're a celebrity. You can excite people. You focus on that. And as long as you keep the people more entertained and more excited than those people, you make them look stupid because they trying to have a doop conversation. Jesse Ventura used to do the same thing. I mean, y'all trying to have a conversation with me, and I'm still in wrestler mode, coming like, oh, we kicking their butt, woo! You know what I mean? And Trump is on the same thing.
That's so true. That's so true. Because I just heard I was listening to this other podcast, and they were saying that Chris Rock said it's hard to be famous for 30 years, right? That it takes effort to be famous for that long, right? And in that arena of being campaigning, that's all it is. It's just being famous, keeping people excited, and the politicians are not used to that. They're not used to keeping people engaged for a long period of time like a celebrity would be. And so he was like, at the end of the day, yeah, Trump is gonna win. Just because he knows how to he know how to engage a crowd where most of the other people don't. And I was like, fuck.
It's a it's a skill. It's a craft.
Yeah.
It's a craft. You know, like people sleep on it, but the ability to get clout, the ability to make people to go look at me and people actually look, and then you could dance long enough to keep them looking. That's a skill, bro. And somebody else might be a better dancer. But if you can keep them looking,
yes.
The dance could be terrible, but it made me laugh, so I'm watching.
Yeah, you know? That's what I fucking hate about politics, especially a celebrity being in politics. So that means the most famous person in the world, Will Smith, can be a politician.
Will Smith. If Will Smith ran for, Will Smith will unite this country. Tell me somebody who don't like Will Smith. You could go get the most hateful. Racist, and guess what? He'll still be like, Wild Wild West was all right.
Yeah. Will Smith need to run for president. Fuck it. Because if that's what all it takes to actually become a politician or at least engage a crowd, then any celebrity can be a politician. Any celebrity. If that's all that it takes, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, we need some policy. We need, okay, so how are you gonna allocate these funds? What do you plan on doing after you get this job?
You could get help with that. You could, like, I think real politicians, like, you know, you take like if you're talking like a Bush or a Clinton or, you know, whatever like that, like these are lawyers. That's the way they really think is policy. That's how they go about their lives. That's what they live in. But if you understand just like the whole political thing, like there's such thing as a figurehead. And it's like you are popular. It's like, okay, I put it this way. Drake raps, right?
Yeah.
Drake has had help with songs. Drake don't shoot his videos. Drake got a whole team around him. So really, Drake as a business is several people, but he is the figurehead. He is the face, right? And as long as the face is working, somebody else can do the other parts. So I think with Trump, 100%, like right now he's on this whole kick, like, oh, you know, criminal justice, look at all these people I've released and whoop doo doo, wah wah wah. I don't think it's genuine. And I don't think it's genuine because prior to you being a politician, when you didn't have advisors and you were left to your own devices, right? The Central Park 5, or the exonerated 5, let me get that right.
Yes.
Okay. But basically, if you've never heard of this, you know, 5 young men accused of raping a woman in Central Park when they were miles away on the opposite side of the park from where this woman actually was, and these young boys went to jail for years, right? Donald Trump spent thousands of dollars, like, of his own personal money to put in the newspaper, hey, I don't care if they're guilty or not, execute them. That's how I feel about it. If they didn't do that, they're young, they're thugs, they're what do they call them? They're predators. And if they didn't do that, they did something, execute them. That's how he really feels about criminal justice. But now he has somebody who can say, hey, look, all right, so look, you're the face, but here's what if we're going to get reelected, okay, Donald, here's what we need you to do, bro. And so now he's on this whole kick of trying to not only let people out, right? But it seems like every time he lets somebody out, he's trying to post it on his Twitter, he's trying to put it in a commercial, whatever, right? You know, so it's not genuine. It's calculated, and the goal is to be president. That's the goal.
Yeah. And I'm thinking, why though? why does, like, I guess this is more ego. I think for him, he really don't want to be president. He just wants to be the most famous person in the world, or the perceived most powerful man in the world. Because don't presidents don't they only make like 100,000 a year or something like that? 150,000.
I thought is it only 150?
I don't know.
Let's Google that.
Yeah, Google it. I don't because I know it's not a lot
Siri,
of money.
how much does a president make in salary?
It's not a lot of money.
Here's what I found.
All right, we about to ask.
It's not a lot of money. I know it's not for him. For somebody like is in the arena that he's in, $100,000 ain't shit. You know what I'm saying?
All right, so I think the president. The last 3 presidents elected to office, Donald Trump, Barack Obama, George W. Bush, have all made $400,000 a year in salary. The president also gets an additional expense allowance every year of 50 racks. On top of that, they get free housing in the White House, free transportation, free health care from the private. No, not from the public. They get free health care from private medical team available in the White House. So they basically like have a hospital like on staff for them and their family.
Well, I mean, I guess they do need it, but $400,000 a year is really not shit. It's really like 40,000 in regular.
In Trump dollars, bro. That's in Trump dollars. Donald Trump don't care about $400,000. He ain't doing it for the money, but it is a power play. Like once you're the president, think about it. This man was a billionaire, right? On paper. You know, I don't think he's like a cash billionaire. Right. He ain't Warren Buffett.
Right.
But at the same time, like you got your brand is that you're a billionaire, and then you run it up and then be president too, and then you got the supermodel wife, and I'm saying it's a power play, it's an image thing, and then how many more things can you go on to do after this once you've done that?
Right.
You know,
it's really nothing else. After this, what is he gonna do?
He gonna have to run for like president of the planet.
He's not gonna do anything after this.
Nah.
All he's gonna do is put his name on more stuff, and that's it. And because, the thing, I don't even know what his long game is. I really don't. And did you vote this past Tuesday? Did you vote?
All right, so I do vote.
You do vote. What does that mean? What does that mean? You do vote.
That means I support the idea of voting, and that I try to make it out to the polls. But this past Tuesday, I did not vote. I gotta get my stuff set up because I'm really like I'll be driving back to Louisiana and stuff to vote and stuff like that. Cause
okay,
you know,
okay. My thing was, I forgot what I was about to say about the voting, but I was having this conversation with my wife. I was thinking, why are black people so loyal to the Democratic Party? Like, I really was like, really wanted to know, like, why are we so dedicated to the Democratic Party? What have they done for black people? You know what I mean? Like, why are we so loyal to them? Like, this was the idea I told my wife. I said, this is what we should do. We should have a committee of people. Barack Obama, Minister Farrakhan, Killer Mike, who else I said? What's the lady in Atlanta, the black lady that I think she was in the presidential race at one point. Damn, I can't remember her name. I see her.
I know
face.
who you're talking about.
Yes, have these community of people.
Dave Chappelle need to be in that room too. I'm just gonna toss that out there.
Fuck it, Dave Chappelle too. Yeah, absolutely. And we should run as an independent, right? We should run as an independent, and we should put all of our votes, donate our money to whoever this committee says, hey, this is the support that we putting our money behind, right? Everybody, they probably not gonna win, right? They probably not gonna win because based off numbers, right? We probably not gonna win. But if we can put all our money towards that person, and then once we get to the actual presidents, where it's Republican versus Democrat, we still as the independent, we can say, hey, these are our list of demands. If you want these black votes, this is what you need to do. You need to give us health care. You need to be able to release some of that money to minorities for housing. You need to release health care, food stamps, whatever our demands are, right? This is how you're gonna get our vote. versus whether it's Republicans or whether it's Democrats. And then that way
So kind of like almost like a
that way we have the power in the political realm. You know what I mean? Because just based off number, I think what African American population is what 15-20%. Something like that.
It's like 20% lower.
Maybe,
I thought it was like
less.
18.
Yeah,
Like that.
it's low. So we're probably not gonna win the actual presidency doing that, but we will probably get more out of it by just going independent and then putting our support backing either a Democrat or a Republican. Because when I look at the grand scheme of things, black people probably should be more Republican than we should be more Democrat. I think
You sound like Kanye.
No. Here's why though. Here's why. Because I think as black people, we are entrepreneurs in nature, right? Republicans are entrepreneurs by nature, right?
Yeah.
So if they can release those funds to allow us to know what we want and let us be entrepreneurs, we'll probably be a lot further ahead, right? But when I look at it just from afar, the Democrats, they want more government assistance. They want more government control, where I don't know if that's really helping us. Like, I don't want to have to depend on the government to give us shit. You know what I'm saying? And I'd rather them just give me the money and let me go out there and do what I need to do. Let me do what I want to do with my money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's when I think about it.
That kind of sounds almost like libertarian.
It might be. What is libertarian?
Let me. It's pretty much, if I could put it in short terms, let me hustle and leave me alone. Like, I want my liberty. I want freedom. I don't want to overreach in government, and also I don't want businesses to be the deciding factor, because they feel like your big businesses play too much of a role too. So libertarians will kind of want a break for any overreaching entities, and you just let the common man hustle it out.
That may be what it is then. That may be exactly what it is. Because it's like, I think for majority of the black people that really want to do something, that really want to get out of being impoverished, they're going to get out and hustle. But if they have access to the funds to be able to do it, I think we'll be a lot further ahead than waiting on government to send us food stamps, government cheese, and being on welfare. I think we'll get a lot further ahead by letting us figure out our own businesses. You know what I mean?
I think it takes a mix of both, and I'm saying that just because I'm in a spot right now. Like, my age, yeah, I could get up, I could hustle, I can go, right? Everybody's not my age. You know what I'm saying? I don't have no wife, I don't have no kids, I don't have no attachments, I don't have any extra expenses unless I create them myself. So any little money I get or whatever, I could put it towards trying to further myself. Everybody's not in that position. And, if you're talking about somebody 60, 70 who may want to, you could be 60 and 70 and still want to get in your better position, but will your body allow it? Will whatever other lives or other things you have going on in your life really allow it? So for that reason, you may need, some people may need assistance, and some people may need that government assistance, and other people just need more of an opportunity. Like, hey, I'm starting this business. What kind of tax break can I get for that?
Yeah, but I think when you at 60, like, I think you ain't really, I mean, it may be some, but for the most part, for the majority of 60-year-olds, they're not trying to create new businesses and start a whole businesses and grow it. They pretty much, hey, I done did what I was going to do, and now I'm chilling. You know what I mean? Now I want to retire on either my pension or my Social Security. They just chilling. But the people who I'm thinking about is all ages between like 25 to like 35 in that age range. You know what I'm saying? Where they're the ones who are like really like, okay, I got my shit together at 25 and I'm ready, you know what I'm saying, to start my business. I know exactly what I want to do. Or it's like the 35-year-old be like, shit, I'm almost 40. I need to figure out what the fuck I need to do. You know what I'm saying? So I won't have to be like my granddad or my grandma, and now I got to work at Walmart and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like them, I think that little demographic, those are the people who I think we should be looking towards to be like, okay, we need access to funds, because that's the only thing that's separate us from any other white person, you know what I'm saying, or either any other person that's in a higher tax bracket. All we need is just the funds. We need the funds to be able to do what we need to do as an entrepreneur. And if you got, and I'm not saying just give money to random people. That's not what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. I'm saying give it to people who actually have a plan laid out. Hey, this is a business that I can start. This is an idea.
You just touched on to something that I think is really important, right? So like, I think the money is important. Mm-hmm. I don't think it's the most important thing.
What is the most important?
Value systems, how you move, how you make your decisions, like on, day to day. What is it that you? Because like I'll put it this way, bro. Like riches, right? Riches is just having cash, mm-hmm. right? Having it available to spend. But you could give somebody who doesn't have a wealthy mindset, a wealthy value system, a bunch of money, and they're gonna fuck it off. Guaranteed, they're gonna fuck it off. So you could take somebody who really doesn't have that much income, but their values are set up a certain way, and that person, I assure you, that person will, if you look at them the next year after that, they're always in a better position. And why do I feel like as African Americans we don't have those? Because I tell you what, Africans are coming over here with those values. You know what I'm saying? The Asians are coming over here with those values. So what is it about us? And what is about us is that we're a unique people, and in that, they took us from everywhere. We don't even speak the same languages. They got community bulls where, look, as a man, we telling you screw her, get her pregnant before we ship you off to the next place where you have to be, whatever. We're not connecting emotionally. We're beating them in front of the women and children, so the women and children get an understanding of mom. Father is not, dad is not a man. Dad is not something to be respected. He can't protect me, you know what I'm saying? And we continue these things even after slavery. There was a very purposeful targeting of the black man in the black community and incarcerating him and getting him up out of home. Now, why do I speak about the man? I speak about the man because I know this ain't popular to say in today's third wave feminist America, right? Mm-hmm. But men are disagreeable. They make rules and they expect their family and themselves to stick to. They create standards, right? They create values within the family. If you remove that, then you have chaos. Yeah. You have chaos, and you create a situation where the women have to step into masculine roles, so they feel like, okay, because I did this without a man, I don't need a man. What is the use of a man? What's the value of a man? First, you're teaching your son he ain't shit, whether or not you mean to or not. And then you got your son always dependent on you, so he grew up, he learning how to depend on a woman. And then you teaching your daughters you don't need a man. Only thing that's important is income. So you got these women who don't know how to connect with men. So we are a disconnected, unloving, ununified group of people. To be able to build the family unit, bro, takes values. And the family unit is actually one of the biggest predecessors to building wealth in a community, because I have a family and you have a family and they have a family. We're neighbors and I got a business. I support you. You support me. Family creates the stability that allows you to build wealth both for yourself, your unit, and then bigger units, the community. So we got to get our values corrected as a people. And I assure you, it don't matter Democrat, Republican, conservative, liberal, socialist, fascist, bro. Because I tell you what, I put it this way. Look at how much has happened to the Jews. You can't get rid of Jews. And I'm not saying I want to. I love shouts out to Jews. Actually, my middle name comes from my godfather. He's Jewish.
You ain't gotta put that disclaimer.
I'm saying I know how I can sound to people. You know what I'm saying, but because when I say get rid of, I ain't saying I want to get rid of them. Yeah. But notice, bro, from the time of the Bible till now, it don't matter. Jews gonna bounce back, and it has to do with their values.
Yeah.
They will always come back. They will always find a way to get wealth. They will always find a way to infiltrate government and influence and information. No, media, law. Bro, their values.
But is that's I agree with you 100%. I don't think I think that's more of a us issue. You know what I'm saying?
I think that's the only thing we should focus. Because why would we look to the same government that thought it was okay to enslave us to go back and be like, hey, can you guys be the solution? That's to me. It's stupid. It's stupid. You think Uncle Sam dumbass gonna save you, bro?
I agree.
This nigga ain't never saved you. You know what I'm saying? They say, man, somebody treat you a way to learn how to treat them. I mean, sorry, when somebody treats you a way, believe them. You know, they show you who are, believe them.
Yes.
Why should we be looking to the government for a damn thing?
Listen, because the reason why I say we should is because that's exactly the way white people get ahead. That's exactly how they get ahead is they take what the government rules are, bend them, and then they use that to get ahead. Like, it was actually a girl that worked at our job. She was like, Dante, do you got life insurance? I was like, yeah. She was like, what you need to do is all the grandkids in your family need to put a life insurance policy on grandma or grandpa, whoever the oldest living person is. Y'all pay that money every single month until grandma dies. So that way when she does, y'all collect the insurance money. Then y'all have a lump sum of $20,000-$30,000 a piece for depending on how many grandkids there is. And then once you guys get that lump sum, then you guys can go out and buy real estate. You know what I mean? And then you guys transfer that, teach your kids that. So when they get older and your parents die or your parents get old, they can do the same thing. So they always have that leg up with life insurance, and that's perfectly legal.
Yeah.
It's perfectly legal, and that way you can have a little lump sum of money every time somebody, because the oldest person in your family is gonna die. That goes without saying, right? So in order for you to what's the word I'm looking for? The way you take advantage of it is put the life insurance out on there. Put the life insurance, because I don't know if people realize most life insurance policies, they don't pay out because there is no they don't pay. That's why life insurance is so goddamn profitable, because they don't pay out the life insurance. Most people who have
that's
life
insurance in general, man. It's a scam.
I know, but you gotta use it to your use it to your advantage to make y'all some money. You know what I'm saying? That's why you use it to your advantage. You make some money, and that way, that's how you build your generational wealth. You know what I mean? That's how you get ahead, by using the government system, using the government rules, and then profiting off of that, so you can be able to put some money back into your family. Because only at the end of the day, all you're gonna have is your legacy. You know what I mean? What did you leave behind? Because we all gonna leave this earth. So it's like, what are you leaving behind to your kids? What is your name gonna stand for once you leave? So it's like, fuck it. I know they don't plan on us taking advantage of it, but we gotta learn how to do it. You know what I mean? Because the same way the white people are doing it, they're building generational wealth. And little Timmy, because I remember when I was in high school, and I used to see all these white kids, nigga got brand new Mustangs, brand new Honda Accords. I'm like,
what?
How the fuck are y'all? How like, you live by me? How are you getting brand new cars at 16 years old? Like, I ain't even really got a license yet. You know what I'm saying?
I used to see the same shit.
Like, how the fuck are y'all doing this?
I just went to go pick up some food for my mom's the other day, like middle of the night.
Mm-hmm.
She wanted some IHOP in the middle of the night. I was like, all right, mom, I'm gonna go get this for you. And in the parking lot, little chick, like little young, bro, standing outside of this brand new Benz. And I'm like, yo, there's no way. And then, so that was when I was going in. When I came out, one of her friends had came to meet her. She just had a Toyota, but it was still new. And then another girl was pulling in the parking lot with another Benz. And I'm like, y'all didn't purchase this. You know what I'm saying? This,
exactly.
But you know, hey, I'll say white people, they definitely had a head start, you know. There's definitely some bullshit that shouldn't have been allowed, that some took part in, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't even want to say but. That's very important. I want to say also, even what you're saying right now still comes back to values, because if like, you know, like my dad's always been pushing me to like read, push me to understand things, right? And I'm the type of person, like, I feel like I can learn how to do anything. I can deconstruct it, like take it top to bottom and go, okay, so man, everything from how to get ahead in taxes to, okay, well, how did that person start that business, or how to deconstruct it. But my mom taught me that. You know what I'm saying? My dad taught me that. They taught me to be that type of person. Are we teaching our kids deconstructing things is the most important thing? Or are we teaching our kids being the hardest person is important? What is each black person teaching their kids? So that same committee you talking about, what if that committee put together some type of African American standards for 2020 to 2030 moving forward? And every time a black person has a kid, they're mailing that to their house and they're saying, use these values to get ahead in your life. I bet that would be more beneficial than any check the government or reparations, the government or anything could cut to us. That right there will be the most important thing. Now, maybe do include, some ways to get ahead with your taxes, or do include some ways to maybe get, funding for your business and things like that. But just teach them, one of the things that was heartbreaking for me, bro. So like, we had our crib, and then like right across the street from our crib was this building that was kind of sectioned up into like units. Mm-hmm. So like my neighborhood was very diverse, racially diverse, but
Where
also
you from?
So I was born in New Orleans, but after New Orleans I moved to Shreveport.
Okay.
So I grew up in like the Stony Hill Highland area of Shreveport.
Okay.
If anybody listening, y'all know where that is. But anyways, yeah. So like right across the street they had these units. And I had this homie Slim, bro, and it was interesting because my parents, his parents, two different things. And one time he told me, he was like, "Yeah, bro, I just go to eat fast food. Like, my mom ain't never grocery shop. My mom don't know it." Like, and it eventually, like, my uncle had talked to his mom and sorted out. She had never been taught the value of how to, or whatever grocery shop. It's more convenient. It takes 2 seconds to go pop up, get McDonald's, whatever, right?
Right.
So my friend, as a result, is all he would do, So that means like something as small as eating. Do you know how it's exponentially more expensive to get fast food, bro? Even if you just spending like $3, $4, $5 on a burger, right. That same $5 I could have bought 10 burgers. Right. You know what I'm saying? And and if nobody teaches you that's important, that shouldn't be an optional thing, that, I know you don't see it on TV, you don't see it on BT, you don't see it on Instagram, but here's how you should be living your life. If nobody's giving you that information, bro, that's got to be hundreds of thousands of dollars that this woman has blown in her life. But for me having a conversation with my friend, he'd be on the same shit. It's values, bro. Right. And we take for granted that everybody is armed with this information.
Right. Yeah. And that's why I can't wait to see the Dr. Sebi documentary. Mm-hmm. Like that's one of the reasons, because whatever is in that documentary, I'm gonna adopt. I'm gonna adopt in my lifestyle, in my household. Like, yo, this is what we need to eat. This is what we need to be on. Like, I can't wait to actually see it. And the crazy thing is I would rather. In my mind, I would rather eat something straight out of the ground than something that is packaged up and something that's been in a capsule. Like, I would rather eat something that's been straight from the ground. In my mind, though, because I know that as soon as I see it getting pulled out of the ground, I'm like, yeah, I don't I don't know. But in my mind, I would rather eat something that has just been pulled out of the ground than something that's packaged and given to me like in a nice little capsule.
Yeah.
In my mind, I would really, man. But you are so on point on the values, though. Like, what do you think? Top 3 values. We just gonna go 3. Top 3 values that all black households should have.
Pay yourself before you pay anything else.
Okay, pay yourself.
Wow, that one right there is a huge. That's really.
That is huge.
Okay. Let me run back. All right, so pay yourself before you. That's out of.
All right, go ahead.
That's out of Rich Dad Poor Dad. That's Robert Kiyosaki.
Okay.
Focus on doing what you can control, not on what is around you or the environment. Like, you can't necessarily control your environment or what happens to you. You can't control what you do and how you respond to it. That's very important.
Okay.
And that's important on so many levels. And information is king. You cannot afford not to know. Information is king. And I think if we focused on those and I know you didn't ask for a fourth, bro, but there's nothing weak about loving. There's nothing weak about being able to join or being able to trust another person. there's nothing weak about that, because a lot of us, depending on the situation that you're in, they're in communities where, the people I see outside are enemies. The people I see outside could be could mean losing my shoes or what I have in my pocket. Or the people I see outside could be the death of me.
Yeah.
So screw them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I know that's not everybody's situation. That sounds really extreme to some people, but some people will hear that and they know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And then even if they end up in a better situation, right? The idea of being open and connecting with other people is foreign to them. But your network is your net worth. So like, if you can't connect with another person, or you have this trauma that keeps you from doing that, to be honest, bro, a lot of black people hate and fear black people just like white people do, and they don't realize it. And it keeps them from building those unities and building those communities that we talked about. I know you didn't ask for a fourth one, but those would be the four that I would be able to.
Okay, give it to me again.
Pay yourself before you pay anything else. And just for clarification, if nobody don't understand what that means, when you buy Jordans, you paying Michael Jordan, right?
Exactly.
Paying yourself means investing in your future. That means putting your money in your stocks and your bonds, something that's gonna grow. If you can't afford, you should take 10 to 20% of everything you earn and put it somewhere that's going to earn you more money. If that means you can't afford your rent, that means you should not be living there.
Right. Right. Okay, the number 2.
So it's pay yourself. The next one was, information is king.
Information is king.
You got to know as much. Read, learn.
Yes.
Yes, seek information.
Okay. And third.
The third one was it says in my memory, bro. I know I really just said that.
I want to make sure we get these down.
Was that what it was?
Oh, don't be afraid of the person. Love, weakness is not
connect. We gotta connect. The love is not bad,
Yeah.
We can't hate each other. can't fear each other.
Okay.
Well, I gave 4. I don't remember what the fourth one was, but whatever it was, if you listen, you can always run it back or something like that. It was valuable at the time I said it. I didn't write it down.
Yo, that is so true, man. Like, and that's when with my son, like I struggle with that, because I grew up in an era where you had to be tough. You know what I'm saying? You had to, or you was gonna be run over. But as an adult, I'm thinking like being vulnerable and being soft is not a bad thing. You know what I mean? It's not a bad thing. Is actually, people would give you more things and they'll allow you more access by you being soft and you not having to be so rough and tough and you always mad. So that's why I struggle with, because I don't want him to be picked on. You know what I'm saying? I don't want him to be picked on. I don't want him to be taken advantage of. So it's like, I want to make sure that he's equipped.
Yeah.
He's equipped with where he knows how to love, because he gets that nurturing thing from his mom. But at the same time, if he's fucked with, I want him to be able to defend himself. You know what I'm saying?
You ever heard of Jordan Peterson?
Jordan Peterson. The name sounds
like
familiar.
The 12 Rules for Life. I think he's a clinical psychologist, something like that. But like one of the biggest things he focuses on is like male development, especially in today. And one of the things he says, which I thought was really powerful, he says a man should be peaceful, right? But he said peaceful and harmless are two different things. And we're teaching young boys right now, because the majority of the teachers are females, right? We talk them and condition them out of all of their male tendencies, that you hit me, I'm hitting you back. That's good. That's actually good. It's how a country works. It's what you should expect in real life, right? It's good, right? But nah, you hit him back, y'all both go to the office. That's teaching. That's stupid. That's teaching. That's not survivalist mentality, and it's not going to work in the real world. It works in your classroom that you're trying to keep controlling, right? So what he says is this: to be peaceful means you actually have the ability to be violent and to be nasty. You make the decision to be peaceful. We say if you don't even have that ability, you're not peaceful, you're just harmless, and that's two different things. So
I like that.
I agree with what you're saying about your son. He does, especially kids, because bro, kids are terrible people. Kids have no sense of empathy, no sense of nothing. They're not supposed to yet, So no, while he's in that environment, he needs that. you know. But as he gets older, he has to also learn that there's also strength in being able to trust, because that's hard. You know, it's easy to be like, I got this hard wall, ain't nobody crossing the wall, it's me, just, you know what I mean, blah, blah, blah. But that same wall that's using to keep people out is the same wall that's going to keep out people trying to help.
Right.
You know, people you could have connected with. So.
Right. All right, let's kind of switch it up, because I feel like we getting deep. Like, I got to put my boots on. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we were having a music conversation before we started.
Yeah.
And you told me that you do music.
I do.
Okay. And that's where the Christian Kings come from.
That's where Chris Kings came from. That wasn't the name I rocked with at first, but yeah.
Okay. Now, you asked me a question, what I think about new hip-hop.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about old school hip-hop? How old are you, first of all?
Man, I just I ain't really just gonna throw my age out.
Okay,
but
are
I
you a
cannot
millennial?
yet.
You millennial?
I'm definitely a millennial. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm talking about like 90s, early 90s, mid 90s rap, and maybe even up to 2000. What do you think about that era?
I mean, that was a. I'm not gonna say like up until 2000 because it got kind of trash early 2000s, but I say 90s. Oh yeah.
Early 2000s got trash.
Yeah,
With
bro.
who?
There was some trash that started coming out. Like, I'm gonna say this, I like Soulja Boy now than I did then, but like, yo, Crank That was not a good rap song. It was a, you know, certain elements of rap I found kind of corny.
I agree with you, but we also had Nelly, we also had Eminem,
I loved Nelly, I loved Eminem.
we also had Jay-Z. So that's that mid 2000s too. You got to include all that too.
True.
You know what I mean? Who we had? Jadakiss. He was in there in that 2000.
The South really blew up
T.I.
at that time too.
Yep.
You know, Outkast was popping in, T.I. was fire at the time. So you know, I'm not throwing the whole era under the bus. No, I love all that. I grew up on all that, man. I made sure I had every single Nelly like album. I thought Nelly was real different. You know, how he came.
Yeah. So who would you compare Soulja Boy to now? Who would be the Soulja Boy of today's era?
Lil Nas X.
Really?
Hands down.
How so? Explain that. How so?
Because Soulja Boy sorted out, okay, it wasn't for him just like, I'm about to make a song and the song for music and lyrics worth is gonna be awesome. Mm-hmm. For him, it was, I'm making something that's gonna be catchy, viral, you're gonna catch on to it. He was really the OG of this internet thing. Soulja Boy was, and a lot of people don't give him the credit for it, but he was, and a lot of stuff these labels are doing, you know, it was him. So being able to take the approach of how do I make this popular rather than how do I make good music, that was his approach. If you ever listen to Lil Nas X was living on his sister's couch when that song popped off. He was not signed. And what he did, bro, he was making meme pages, like basically doing things to get attention first and then feeding the pages his music. And then just by getting listened, and he was doing it several different ways, bro. He made that song pop off with his cell phone, with a cell phone on his sister's couch on different social media platforms. So he took the same approach. Everything from look how short Old Town Road is. It's a short song.
How long is it?
I mean, it's hook, verse, hook, and it's done. And I only thing I know is the hook. Okay, so
That's the only thing I know is the hook.
Here's why I bring that up. Shorter songs, when you enjoy something but it's short, what do you have to do?
You got to replay it.
Got to run it back.
Yeah.
Got to run it back. Lil Pump sorted the same thing out. Gucci Gang was an incredibly short song. And Lil Pump, I would say, is another artist who has mastered how do I make this memorable and catchy, regardless of if you think the lyrics are profound. Can I make something that's gonna make you want to run it back? And he did that with Old Town Road. He was purposely being funny. You know what I'm saying? He ran meme pages, so he understands funny is viral. Funny will make you, cheated on my baby. You can go and ask her. You know what I mean? Like it's just certain lines in the song. And then obviously it was really smart as well, just to
2 minutes and 38 seconds.
Short, in and out. And that was purposeful. It was very, very purposeful. So I would say that Lil Nas X is the modern day Soulja Boy. He's Soulja Boy's son.
That's deep. Because I've only heard one song from Lil Nas X, and I say probably by the summer we probably won't even though we probably remember Lil Nas X from this song, and that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. Cause I don't see him. Like I was listening to an interview when they were saying that when you have your first single, when your first record is out and it is so big, it's hard to try to top that. Cause you always trying to think like, okay, what can I do to top that song? Cause people gonna be expecting another big song. And a lot of times out of 10, people don't, and they usually just go away. Just like what was the dude?
Gangnam Style, remember that?
Yeah, but what was the other black dude from New York? Timmy Turner.
Be looking for a burner. Then everybody walking.
Yeah, who was his name?
Yeah, Designer.
Where's Designer? What was the song? He had Panda. Panda was the biggest.
But notice you started singing Timmy Turner.
You know why?
So that's 2 tracks right there.
But you know why? Because I seen it. It was something where he was. I think when he was doing the what's the Dole XL
That
thing.
was the verse he went with.
Yeah, and I was like, yo, this hard. I was like, okay, but other than that, where's Designer at now? That was only like 2 years ago, wasn't it?
He on Madden.
He on Madden.
Yeah, they got his songs on Madden. He's still getting money. I honestly, bro, I'm gonna say this. Like, we just got done talking about Kanye. Kanye, I got a lot of respect for you, bro. But look, as a label owner, you gotta step it the fuck up, bro. Cause I don't.
Good music is done, dog.
Good music is definitely done, and I don't know. Like, Big Sean used to be one of my favorite artists, right? He actually had a song where he describes in the song a conversation he had with Kanye, basically saying like, "Yo, you need to treat my stuff like you treat yours," and Kanye tried to drop him. And then later on, I watched an interview that they had with another dude out the Good Music Camp, and he basically reiterated the story and was like, yeah, that what Sean said in that song when Kanye heard it, he was gonna drop him. He said, I was the person to talk to Kanye and be like, yo, rather than being upset that he said, think about what he's saying. You gonna sign him? That means he can't go nowhere else. He can't. You're supposed to be giving him opportunity. You prevent him from anybody else helping him out, but then you're focused on you and your career. You're not giving him the leg up he needs. Good, I think Kanye could definitely put more focus and more effort into good music, in my opinion.
Kanye is focused on Kirk Franklin and the choir. He's not focused on anybody in good music. He's focused on how do I get this choir a deal. That's what he's focused on.
It's hard though. It's hard. I watched it. It was hard. It was pretty hard. I watched
Listen, no matter where you go, if you hear gospel music, you're gonna be inspired. Mm-hmm. No matter all they gotta do is carry a note, and if you hear 3 people singing a gospel song or more,
it's up.
Yes, it's gonna be tight.
Hallelujah.
Especially if you already know the song and you remixing it. That's it. Just all you do is exchange nigga out and put Jesus right there.
Damn.
That's all you gotta do, and that's the song. Take out nigga, put in
you wild,
Jesus.
bro.
I'm just saying that's the song.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I already like the song. You just exchange the words. But yeah, I ain't fooling with.
I called Jesus on the phone and he told me run it up.
That's it. I just said. That's it. I ride for my Jesus because I love my Jesus.
Yeah.
That's how you do. That's how you remix it. And this becomes gospel. And any one of those songs would move you. You'll be inspired to do something good. And he's taking it all around the world to let black people know, hey, man, I'm still one of you. I believe in this higher power too. You know what I mean?
Amen.
I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. I can't fuck with Kanye, man. I can't. Not this new Kanye, man. Not this new one.
You don't like the new album?
What new album?
The gospel album.
No, I haven't even listened to it. I haven't even heard it. I don't even want
you listen to. Hey, be open minded. Check it out. Not even from a gospel perspective. Just like as a music album, it's a fire album. Now, if you do listen to it from a perspective of like to be inspired or whatever, man, he actually put some personal shit on that I felt like, okay, wow. Like, I think that one of the lines that really hit me, because like there's a shorty I used to know back in the day, and I'm like online on social media, and she's like, questioning him, like, is he really even? He's using Christianity to market himself, do business, and that's that's this, that, and the other. And I was like, yo, so let's just imagine for 1 second. I was like, you're a Christian, right? And she's like, yeah. I was like, let's just imagine for a second that you don't know what's in this man's head because you're not him, right? And that he is genuinely trying to turn his life over to Christ. Mm-hmm. That's how you treat a new believer. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like, think about it. And have you considered if he is a musician and that is what he has to offer as far as giving it to the Christian community, you're upset that he's using that gift for, like, you know what I mean? And one of the lines Kanye said in the song that I really felt, because I was seeing people's reactions, he was like, made me feel like, and he said, and the Christians be the first ones to judge me. Made me feel like nobody loved me. I was like, bro, I know you felt that way because I'm seeing the responses from people who are supposed to be, like, I'm seeing it. He didn't just go into that album on some, like, praise Jesus, blah, blah, blah. He really legitimately talked about his trying to do this and the reactions he's getting, and from his family, from his, like, he said his dad, like, he talked about, like, I'm arguing with my dad and he tell me that ain't Christ, like, and it made him mad, and he said it made him like now you gonna mock me because I'm trying to be a Christian, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I would check it out.
Yeah, I don't know, because here's my thing about religion, right? Mm-hmm. Your relationship with God is your own personal religion, your own personal relationship, right?
Yeah.
It's not to expose, and it's not to like, I feel like that's an intimate relationship with you and God. It's not for you to be like, oh yeah, you need God too. Like, I feel like that's more of like it's an intimate thing where if you got a relationship with God, like, that's supposed to be sacred. That's supposed to be something that you keep close to the heart. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Something close to the chest. I don't feel like it's something where you need to run out and be like, and just be yelling like, oh yeah, my God is great. He's done that. Like, I feel like that's just extra to me.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And maybe that's just my personality. It could be where I feel like, yeah, if I got a relationship with God, yeah, me and God cool. He know me. You know what I mean? That's my boy. Like, what me and him talk about, what we do, what he's been doing for me. Like, when it's appropriate to, when somebody asks me about, like, yo, so what's been going on? And then I can tell you, like, yeah, so I can't explain it. It can be nothing but God that's actually done this, blah, blah, blah. But anything after that, and I don't know, like, anything so more than that.
Would you say, like, Christian music in general kind of falls into the telling people about it rather than not waiting for them to ask?
So would I think Christian music would be more like telling than asking?
Because, I mean, that's what it is. It's music that praise. It's music that's like, yo, God is awesome. Yo, he fire. He lit. Like, and however you're saying that, whether it's with a guitar and a band or whether you're rapping it or whatever, that's essentially the whole genre is in some way. I think Christianity has this concept called testimony. And essentially testimony is giving your true and your honest story, whether it be failures. And a lot of times, if you ever listen to people's testimonies, sometimes you'd be like, oh, you didn't have to tell me that, bro. Like, oh, whoa. Oh, you did what with who? God dang, bro. I'm glad you came around. I didn't want to know that, Pastor. God. Bro, I was in church one time. Pastor was like, I used to struggle with porn. I've lost jobs. Used to have to go in the bathroom. I was like, whoa, bro. God. Like, I'm glad you good. You know what I'm saying? But it was very, people really be sharing some stuff. But I think the whole point is, like, we're all messed up and we all got stuff so, like, whenever somebody else starts sharing what's ugly about them but how God brought them out, it makes you like, damn, could I, and I think that's why, I think that's the reason why they do that. But I will say, for some other people, the way that shit can be experienced is like, yo, shut the fuck up. Nobody, I'm trying to enjoy my Denny's while you talking to me about Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I guess when it comes to, like, gospel music, I think there needs to be, like, inspiration. Just like for R&B, there needs to be inspiration for love. Just like when pop, there needs to be inspiration for going out to the club. There needs to be inspiration for different genres. But I think with Kanye, it's a little different because like you've seen his growth. You know what I mean? And I think with everything he did leading, and I can see if it was a natural progression to leading up to gospel for him, then I would understand that. I think I would be more accepting of it if it was a slow progression. You know what I mean? Versus wilding out, doing something crazy, and then bam, I'm a Jesus freak, and now I got gospel music, and I'm putting out gospel albums. It just seemed like it's like he's jumping to the end of the spectrum too quick. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
At least for me.
Cause it really, cause I did think about like, bro, right before you dropped this, you're such a fucking hoe.
Exactly.
I love it.
You know?
Hey, you know, but you know what though? I think we don't get to see, like, he don't have a reality show or a vlog or no shit. So it's not like we get to see his day-to-day thoughts. And I also think the same nigga singing "You're such a fucking hoe, I love it" is the same nigga saying I need to be saved by Christ. Because here's the thing, bro, you gotta think, you know what I'm saying, you can't be chasing pussy and living that lifestyle and everything. You a father. And I think there are a lot of elements to Christianity, like if you mess around and start having kids, you start being in different situations that could make you be like, wow, I could see the benefit in that. Kanye put it this way. He was like, whenever I saw value in Ralph Lauren and this and this and this, I told y'all. Whenever I saw value in blah, 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 I told y'all. This is just another thing I didn't came across that's giving me value, and now I'm telling y'all. So it's the transformation of a man. Like, I can't stand for a female to be like, oh, back in high school you did this. Fuck you. Because back in high school, you were dealing with your 18-year-old me, you know what I'm saying? And I had to deal with 18-year-old you. Maybe if you were 25-year-old you, I would have curved you. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe I would have been nicer about it if I was, you know what I'm saying? This age that I am now, like, it's people change, and people, but that's also part of the Christian walk too. Like I could toss this out there. I grew up in the church, you know what I'm saying? I will definitely say I'm not your traditional Christian, I'm not going to be a pastor, most likely, but I get some of the concepts because I've grown up in the community. I understand, like, as a Christian, once you turn your life over to Christ, one of the first people do is be like, nigga, wasn't you just throwing dollars at the, and guess what? Nigga, I might not stop throwing dollars at the strippers. I might still be in there, every once in a while, but that might be that person's struggle, or that might, I don't know, but that's part of being a Christian, that you understand people are going to take that stance. Like, weren't you just doing this thing that we don't consider to be part of your doctrine? But Christianity ain't what people really think it is, bro. It's really like, Jesus loved us. He sacrificed for us. Do you understand that? Do you accept that? Okay, G. And can you say if he loved you and he loves these people, that you should treat them with a certain amount of respect too? Yeah, okay, G. The perfection would be nice, but it's kind of like your teachers tell you, you get a C in this class, you pass the class. Your parents will tell you, we want you to get straight A's. But for you to pass, you just need a C. So being perfect, the good behavior, all that shit like that, bro, that's extra. It is positive. It does lead others to see a good example that maybe they could avoid some life troubles by following. But that shit is not necessarily not necessary to achieve heaven, or to achieve, and that's what a lot of people who are not in the churches and stuff like that, they be like, well, how the fuck can you do this and follow Christ? You would have to come through a sermon to find out, so it's
I feel you. Yeah, I haven't got on board yet.
I feel you, bro.
I haven't got on board.
I feel you, bro.
That's just it. I just haven't got on board, man. So, man, I appreciate you for coming through, man. This has been dope. You know what I'm saying? I want to have you come back next week, man.
Bet.
Yeah, I want to have you come back next week. We gonna talk some politics.
We're gonna do some politics.
Yeah. I want to have you come back next week, man.
I'm with it.
Yeah. Leave your social.
Might have some new music for you or something like that too.
Yeah, bring it. Yeah, bring it by, man. Heck yeah. Leave your social. How can people get a hold of you?
All right, so anybody trying to holler at Chris Kings, you can always find me at Chris Kings _ on Instagram. I'm saying youtube.com/Chris Kings. Twitter at Wavy Kings. I'm saying Snapchat Wavy Kings.
Okay.
The God.
That's what's up, man. Yo, appreciate y'all for tapping in with us. This has been another episode of the Tap In Podcast. Holla.